Fancy. Welcome again, everybody, to another episode of Gluten Power Hour, the Semolina Sit Down. Start it up.
And for the final time in 2025, welcome to Fancy Bread. I'm Adrian.
I'm Ed.
And I must warn you, today I might get a little bit emotional. So just
today, huh?
A little heads up,
Just today.
Let me lower this over here.
Right.
So why am I emotional, you ask? Well, because today marks the last episode of this year. And this is our 26th episode that we would be posting on the calendar this year. Meaning that out of the 52 weeks of the year, we ended up posting an episode more than half. And I got to say, I'm pretty proud of that. You know, I'm really proud that at the beginning of the year, we said we wouldn't give it everything we got. And
that's all you can wish for, you know?
I did, man. You know, and it was a lot of work. You know, a lot of long hours. Many times I just wanted to say, fuck this shit, light up a joint, and go get something nice to eat. So I would light up my joint, swallow my pride, get the job done, and they get something nice to eat. You know, so as long as there's food, something will be nice. Mm-hmm. But I got to say that, you know, it was great, and I wanted to start saying thank you. I really want to say thank you for everybody that showed up, everybody that came in, everyone that, you know, hello, you guys. Thank you so much, Mamacita. Appreciate you showing up every single time. We appreciate everybody that honestly came in, likes, shares, subscribes. It really helped, especially during those times. There were times where I really just didn't want to do anything else, and just looking at the comments section sometimes really, you know, really helped. So I just want to say thank you. And to everybody this year, we had 14 guests this year. One of them made a triple appearance. So it's Chris Williams, 20 from Praise the Phrase. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for coming in those 3 times. Anybody else? Erica for Solo Diners, Derek and Nicole for Big Tops, Maritza for Mother's Day, Kevin and Will for Bartenders versus Servers, Amin for Fun Dining, one of our most watched episodes, by the way, I will say. Mauro and Chris, who came for Father's Day, Chef Jimmy Chill, who came for the pop-up. That was awesome because at the beginning of the year, we mentioned that restaurant closing, and he showed up, sat on our table, and discuss what happened to that restaurant. I hope you're doing very well. Pop-up was very successful, and I believe he's doing something else. We have Juan, who came for the Shark episode, Rachel and Casey, who came for Cocktail Runners, Chef Seppi, who was our first Zoom call conversation, the first of many to come this year. Thank you so much. He came in for opening restaurants. And finally, Chris, who came for our one live episode, because we did 8 episodes live this year. That was also a big thing. We went on TikTok, we went on Instagram aggressively, we came back to YouTube, and now we're just live on YouTube. And finally, your most watched episode, would you happen to know which one that was?
The Fun Dining?
No. Miami
that's what you said.
Spice 2025.
Oh, really?
That was the most watched episode. So it's funny that people are interested in learning a little bit about Miami and what's going on in Miami. So note taken. We'll definitely do that coming soon. Anything else on there?
No. I just want to say I agree. Yes.
Well, thank you. And finally, I want to say thank you for the team, of course. This year I became a boss, a manager, a leader. You know, they say he who doesn't like soup gets two servings. I never wanted to be a manager. I never wanted to be a leader. I always just wanted to be in the middle. Invisible. But something that I realized this year is that if you want something done, you're gonna have to step up and do it yourself. So I want to say thank you for all those who helped out. We had a couple of people that helped out in social media: Eden, Jenny, Ava, Sad, Sean, Gina, Elio, and of course my lady Erica. I couldn't have done it without you, babe. Thank you so much. Moving on, sir. You want to bring in your topic?
I mean, I guess so.
Go for it.
I'll start if you want to start.
Mm-hmm.
Something I'm thinking that is important that I don't feel gets enough attention is thinking about whether or not, as an employee in a restaurant, you can extrapolate this to everything.
Go for it.
But we're a hospitality restaurant podcast, so are you liked at your job? And whether that matters. because the philosophy is you don't go to work to make friends. You don't go to work to be liked. You go to work to do your job and go home. So all of that friendship shit is extra. But is it extra? Is it unimportant to be liked at work? Is it best to only be respected as an employee who comes in, does their job, doesn't get into trouble, doesn't ruffle any feathers, and goes home? Or is it better to be liked by your coworkers, by your bosses, by your owners? What do you think is more beneficial?
Beneficial, yeah, because I was going to say that all depends
The word
person
is
to person.
the word is
Obviously,
beneficial, bro.
Some people really don't care, but beneficial is to be liked.
Beneficial is to be liked. I think that but the sad thing is that you see what's happening right there?
I will, again, because that's why I mentioned it's because it's based on person to person. Because I just said before we just started that I wanted to be usually in the middle, invisible. I would have been that person that when you say, oh, how's that person, how's the high performer doing? Oh, the high performer is high performing, or the person slipped up this week. But when you're in that middle and they're like, oh, how's that person? That person's fine. The person's invisible, right? So as long as you go to work and you do your thing and you don't ruffle any feathers, you'll be fine. Like you'll be fine. So it all depends. It's more of a personal of where you want to be. That yes, if being liked helps you, if you're liked by your managers, I guess that will help you with many things: schedules, sections, etc., favors, all that stuff, right? So being liked definitely has pros. If your coworkers like you, they'll be more prone to help you, to assist you, etc., etc. So I mean, yes, being liked will definitely give you things. It's just that it's all based on what do you want to do at the end of it. What do you want from it? I'm not sure if that answers your question.
It does answer my question, because I think everyone's answer is different. There's no right or wrong answer to this. It's just a matter of, just like you said, finding out what's best for you. So it's not like black and white. It's possible to do a little of both, which I think, in my opinion, is the healthiest way to do this.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible for everybody to like you.
Right. You grow up, and little by little, one of the lessons you learn is you're not going to get along with everybody. So
no,
I don't think this is about going to work and being a pleaser or being a yes person. Right? It's not about making friends with everybody, because then ultimately I don't think anybody would like you if they realize you're just trying to be friends with everybody. I mean, my attitude is, my personality is uncompromising, and it's,
I don't want to be liked.
yeah,
of course.
Right. Well, shout out to my boy Jimmy Flapjack. Yeah. So I'm not going to get along with everybody regardless. I don't sort of get along with anybody. There's no moderation that my personality induces. No, of course, nothing. There's personalities that induce moderation.
Okay.
Oh, how do you feel about John? Oh, John's okay. Or, I don't really know. I don't really talk to John much. That's right in the middle. My personality induces, oh, I fuck with Edwin, or I can't stand Edwin. And I'm okay with that, because I'm not going to compromise who I am to please or displease anybody. But if you ask me, which would you choose? Would you choose to be a by-the-book, respected employee, or would you choose to be an employee who's liked by the majority of the people in the building? I'm not saying it because it's my personal feeling, because again, I already understand you're not going to get along with everybody. But if I had to choose one or the other, which side I tilt to more, I would say I would tilt more towards being liked, because my experience, being liked creates a work environment that's better for me. Correct. You know what I'm saying? If you're liked, like, it's a better environment. People are it's psychologically more healthy as far as I'm concerned. People are more inclined to help you. You have stronger connections with people in work and out of work. Like, and whether we want to accept it or not, it's good for a career path too. Because if you have two employees and there's one job position available, even though I'm telling you, it sucks, because it's shouldn't be this way. I'm not saying that this is the right way, but I'm at least grown up enough and my antennas are developed enough to understand that this is just the way it is. One job is available as a promotion, and there's two people who are applying for it. You have the person who does everything correct and et cetera, but just has no personality, doesn't necessarily make people laugh, doesn't rub people the right way, has something off about them with their coldness and no connection. or you have a person who does all the things that they're supposed to do, but they kind of dance around the rules a little bit. You know, they're kind of a troublemaker, charismatically. They make people laugh. They have inside jokes. That person's going to get the job, bro.
As long as they get the job done.
As long as they get the job done.
As long as they get the job
Absolutely.
done. Absolutely. Yeah. And hey,
We're talking about the extras.
I'm all up for you. Hey, I remember telling this once when I trained in Puerto Rico. I mentioned to this guy. Sorry, I mentioned to these two who were the old school guys. They already opened that place. I was reopening it, so I was training the staff that was gonna reopen the place. So
Right.
some of them knew what to do, some of them didn't. And I went to the ones that had already trained, and I said to them, "I understand that you don't necessarily need to be here, nor want to be here,
Right.
right? But I would like for you to be here, and I would like for you to help me out."
Okay.
Because you have one of two things that's going to happen, right? They all knew the person that trained everyone before me. So they knew this person very well. And I said, when you walk through that door, one of two things is going to happen. Either everyone else that's here is going to say, fuck, this piece of shit is here. That's going to suck, right? Or they're going to be like, man, good thing that person's here. If I need something, that person's going to be there. So you choose who you want to be. Another one that I want, another little piece I want to add to that. I sat down with my coworker the other day, and he said, "I spend more time in this restaurant than anywhere else. I spend more time with you guys more than anyone else.
That's
more
right.
than my lady who I sleep with, right? More than anyone."
Right.
Now, would you not want to get along with them? Is that the kind of place that you want to walk into and spend more time than anywhere else and just not get along with anyone? And hey, that's on you. If that's what you choose, go for it. But liking, yeah, it's what you make of it. You know?
I'll say this. Look, if someone is working in a restaurant right now and they're kind of new and they're saying to themselves, shit, how do I become a coworker who gets along with his coworkers and is liked more than is respected by the book? And I'm not talking about respect as a human being. You should stand up for what you believe in, and you shouldn't make compromises based on what you think is morally, correct, et cetera, et cetera. If people are like, oh, everyone here wants to be a drug dealer, and you're like, that's not my vibe, and you're like, well, then no one's gonna like you. Well, then you say, you know what, fuck all of you. You know, stand up for yourself. But you gotta know when to wiggle. You gotta know when to dance a little bit. So if you're wondering, hey, you know what? How do I get my coworkers to like me? I do everything correct, I think, but I don't think I've gotten there yet. I'm still kind of new. I'll give you a couple of tips.
Go for it.
Okay? You let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, fantastic. Simple. Some of these are very wholesome. They're very simple, but these are just in between, reading between the lines, getting to know people based on my experiences. Help your coworkers' guests. Whether you are working in a pool house or not, if a guest waves you down or waves your coworker down and no one saw but you saw, go help that fucking person. Doesn't matter if it's through your table or not. You go help that motherfucker, right? You have to build camaraderie, making your coworkers feel like if they're not around for whatever amount of time, for whatever reason, their tables are going to be taken care of because they have competent coworkers standing around them. Not people who are going to let their station die, right? That's one. Contribute to the fucking pool, okay? This obviously only works with pool restaurants where the service charge is shared by everybody. But either contribute to side work, which I absolutely hate, all right? You don't get big sections, or you work in a restaurant, you're not necessarily the best salesperson. No problem, but contribute to other ways. We used to have this coworker who definitely wasn't a strong salesperson, but every time they closed the fucking restaurant, things were spotless, folded napkins like crazy, maintained and cleaned all the stations. And everyone would be crazy to be like, oh, fuck them. They're not contributing. Yes, they were. Because all the things that nobody wants to do, somebody does those things. Nobody cares how you contribute to the pool anymore. Or don't do side work. Don't be a good side work person, but contribute to the pool. Right? I hate side work. But compared to some of my coworkers, I actually do a lot of side work. But some of those coworkers contribute vastly to the pool. So everybody turns ahead. Everybody's like, hey, you know what? Whatever. That person sells a lot of caviar.
As long as they contribute to the pool,
as long as they contribute to the pool, it is acceptable. Okay?
To you. Go ahead.
That's all that matters to me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Don't shark tables. Again, This works in both in places where there isn't a pool and there is a pool. It's more offensive when there is a pool because there's usually assigned stations. But don't shark people's tables. That's a big no-no. I don't know how you feel about that, but for me, that really pisses me off.
That's a big no-no.
Right? Run food if your kitchen calls for hands. This is something I don't like to do either. But when you got to do it, you got to do it. Not necessarily because of gaining favor in the back of house, but if you don't run food, that's something that the chefs are going to be very, very upset about. And they're very most likely going to talk about it at pre-shift. And what you don't want to happen is know that someone directly caused pre-shift to happen. Like a discussion at pre-shift. You don't want that at all. Let's see what else we got here. Okay? This is a PSA. A PSA for all servers, all bartenders.
Yeah. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but this is a PSA for all servers and bartenders.
Return pens, lighters, and wine keys.
God's sake.
Right now, you or somebody you know has a wine key or a lighter that doesn't belong to them. Return it to the person who lent it to you, because trust me, if you're known as a person who doesn't return shit, you're not going to get lent wine keys or lighters.
Yep.
Okay? I have refused to lend someone a wine key or a lighter because in the past, they didn't return it to me.
Yep.
All right?
I do that all the time. You know what's funny? Somebody took a lighter of mine and they didn't return it until months after.
Right.
And then bought me a new one and gave it to me with no lighter fluid. So, it's just going to do something complete.
Right.
Hey,
Okay.
There you go.
Stop bumping into everyone. For the love of God, employ some kind of
Spatial awareness.
some kind of spatial awareness. If you have no spatial awareness and you got an inner ear problem, get that shit checked out. Stop bumping into everybody. Stop bumping into the tables. It's really, really fucking annoying. Okay? You know who you are. And lastly,
you know who you are. We ain't tagging nobody. You know who you are.
most importantly, do not rat on your co-workers. Don't rat on your coworkers. Don't be a pussy. Don't rat on your coworkers, because that will be the beginning of the end for you. The beginning of the end. I don't mean like, again, you have to know when to defend yourself. If your coworker does something objectionable and it's crazy and it can make you lose your job, you don't want to be an accomplice. You don't want to be an accessory to murder. You got to do what you got to do. But for everyday things, do not rat on your coworkers. That is the bitchiest thing that you can do.
True. Funny how it's interesting how I'm going to be mentioning this now, because you gave like all the things that you can do at work that makes you a great coworker. Not a friend though, but a great coworker, right? And funny thing, if you want to befriend someone at work, well, I'm going to give you 2 quick things that you can do.
Sure.
Number 1, I'm going to give you a cool question that you can ask people. You can look at them and say, "Hey, tell me something I don't know about yourself."
No, that's gonna make you weird, bro.
Hey, again,
that's gonna make you
this
weird.
is for you to connect with people, okay? Because you said, oh, those are things that you can do, but again, those are things that you can do as a coworker, not as a friend, because a friend knows you. And secondly, if you really want to make friends, just go out to drink with them after work,
Which they won't do if you creep them out by asking them creepy fucking questions. That's my point exactly. So, again, look, this is not so simple.
Who has more friends?
This is not so simple, right? Are you asking who has more friends, you or me? So this is not so simple, right? It's not black and white, because as soon as people are involved, nothing is simple. But just think of it this way. There's 2 ways that I'd like to finalize this point. 1, nothing that matters as far as making friends or being likable at work will be found in an employee handbook. Nothing. Nothing that you do that's going to make you gain traction with coworkers personally is found in your handbook. So if you're doing things by the book, you already know you're on the wrong track. And another way to think about it is like this, right? So I always like to say to myself, how can I apply this to real world examples outside of the restaurant? Okay? If you're someone who's having difficulty making connections with people at work, it's because you're not finding the way to bend the rules in a charismatic way. And the best way to think about that in the real world is, imagine you're in traffic, okay? And you're at an intersection, and the car in front of you is the car at the front of the intersection. That light is green. Cars are coming, so you can't make a left yet. Anyone who is anybody who has a brain, what do? You pull up a little bit into the intersection so that after that those cars pass or the light turns red, you're in the box and you can make a left. Right?
Bending the rules.
What do some people do? Everybody knows. Some people don't make a left unless there's an arrow, a green arrow. And you're stuck behind that person in the fucking intersection and you can't make a left because this fucking person is afraid of Judge Dredd or somebody. I don't know what's going on. So they won't make the turn. So you got to wait for a whole nother light cycle before you turn because this fucking person, this Boy Scout didn't want to roll into the intersection so you could turn. So think of it this way. That person who's in front of you, they didn't do anything wrong. But you don't like them. So think of it that way.
You know, that is an excellent point.
Thank you so much.
There you go. Case raised. Okay. Rescue case. There you go. Fantastic. Now, since we're in the spirit of New Year's Eve, right?
We are or you are?
I mean, I guess I am. You know. Then let's talk about some things throughout this year.
Okay.
Last year, I asked you if you had a favorite restaurant that you found out in 2024 that you like to suggest. In 2025, was there a restaurant that you find out that you're like, wow, and then you like to share? Last year, you said Mimi Chinese. What's your last year?
I said Mimi Chinese?
Yes, sir. Do you happen to have one this year? I can share.
I would say Walrus Rodeo.
Yeah?
Walrus Rodeo
It's phenomenal.
Walrus Rodeo is up there for me.
Yeah?
Up there. Upscale, casual, like the best combination. They have a huge, it used to be a pizza restaurant.
Yeah.
So they have a big pizza oven. So they cook a lot of shit in there. They cook their bone marrow in there. They cook their pizzas in there. Mm-hmm. They cook their steaks in there. It's just, everything that comes out of it in their bread.
Phenomenal food.
Oh, so good. Walrus Rodeo is really, really fucking good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned pizza because I would say this was the year of the pizza. Because this one, for me, it was Mark's Artisanal Pizzeria. I went to it at the beginning of the year. We had it on the show. We tried it. And I went to this place at least once per week throughout the whole year, or every other week at least. I've visited this place a fuck ton. Food was great. Ambience fantastic. And honestly, I recommend it to anyone. So I highly recommend
Mark's Pizzeria is good.
Yes. Last year, and I'm glad that this year you took the initiative because when I mentioned that restaurant, you decided to come in and check it out with me. Unlike last year, which I mentioned Dumplings Mi Amor, and you decided that you were not going to try it, which this year we probably will. I wanted to mention that this year our Fancy Bread it's headed out. Instead of just having our conversations in this table, we're actually going to go out and head out to you, meaning restaurants. We're going to go check out a couple of restaurants, and we're going to sit in their lobby, or we're going to sit in a table, and we're going to set everything up, and we're going to have the chef, managers, or someone come in and have a talk with us. So look forward to that. That's going to be in addition to the lives that we're going to be doing this year as well. So a lot to look forward to.
Right. We figure we try to make, have people be in very comfortable settings while we ask them, or at least I ask them, very uncomfortable questions.
Yeah. And it was a little difficult to get people to come here because, hey, everybody has what they're doing, so it's kind of difficult to get.
We'll come to you, bro.
So
Fancy Bread's on the road.
Fancy Bread on the road, baby. Another thing, a restaurant that didn't make it this year for you that you're like, fuck. Is there a restaurant that closed this year that you like?
A restaurant that closed that I'm sad that
That
closed?
you're sad that closed. And you're like, man, I used to go there and enjoy it.
Yes and no. When did Les Zoo close? Did they close this year or last year?
Yeah, it closed this year.
Les Zoo in Bell Harbor closed, and that bummed me out a little bit. But then when you realize that Pastis is the exact same restaurant, it kind of doesn't really matter. Pastis is a lot closer to me. It's the same shit.
They're gonna do a pastis right there?
No, Pastis is Les Zoo.
Really?
Nobody understands this, bro.
Yeah.
The menu at Pastis is the same menu at Les Zoo. Same menu.
I had no idea.
Same burger. Same onion soup.
No idea.
Same escargot. The same warm shrimp salad. The same chicken paillard. The same menu style. The same daily special style. The the same coffee service, the same desserts, the
differently.
profiteroles, all that stuff. It's the same menu. It's like people didn't understand. I was talking to somebody, I was like, oh, it's the same thing. And they were like, yeah, well, all French bistros are similar. I was like, no, motherfucker. It's literally the same thing. It's the same company. It's a star restaurant. It's the same menu. It's the same recipes. So Le Zoo closed. That's only a bummer if Le Zoo was closer to you. But if you had to drive to Le Zoo and you don't have that ability anymore, you could just go to Pastis. It's literally the same thing.
There you go. And Pastis is awesome. So
it's amazing.
that's great. Well, in my case, it was a restaurant that you originally hated, which was called Las Vacas Gordas. And then they took that place and they redid it and then called it into Muchachos. And I used to frequent that place because one of the things that I set out to do last year was to start going to every restaurant that was in my neighborhood. And that was one of them. And honestly, man, I really enjoyed it to the point that I was going to this restaurant where there was only one person working in this place. One person was cooking, serving, doing everything. So I would just go in and get some empanadas. It was
not a good
fantastic.
sign.
Unfortunately, it met its end. And
Muchachos closed?
yeah, man.
Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad.
It was delicious. It was delicious. However,
so
I
sad.
did mention the previous years that there was a restaurant called Taste Buds of India.
Oh, that was good.
That unfortunately that restaurant had closed, and that restaurant did reopen its doors. However, it did so in a different place. Instead of being here in Normandy Isles, is now in Treasure Island, and it is called. I just want to make sure that we get that because it's actually inside of a liquor store. So it's kind
Inside of a liquor store?
it's like it's a liquor store, it's a bar, and the kitchen is the actual, that's what it is. So I'm gonna have to,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, but unfortunately I didn't have.
You're talking about by the Presidente?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I wanted to look for that name real quick, so I just wanted to throw it out. It's Razoi Indian Kitchen. That's where you will find it. RASOI, Razoi Indian Kitchen. So if you want to check it out, do so. I would encourage you to do some takeaways and enjoy that at home.
I like Bombay Darbar, bro.
All right.
Bombay's the way to go.
Now, interesting how I mentioned that as well as to restaurants opening and closing. Something that I noticed of a bit of a trend this year is how things kind of took a gap between everything that's really expensive and not expensive. Like the middle ground is slowly but surely disappearing. Like people are either saving up to splurge on a big dining experience or they're saving up and going to either something a little bit more low end. So kind of like that middle, it's being affected. And I would say that us working in a high price and restaurant, that we used to get a lot more people trying to split bills, and that kind of slowly has faded away. Have you noticed that?
That people aren't splitting bills anymore?
Not necessarily like splitting, but people are splurging a little bit more. They're indulging. I used to say that we specialize in reckless spending.
Yeah.
And now it's more of a indulgence kind of thing. So I feel that the energy is changing towards fine dining establishments. And I hope that takes on to next year.
Well, it's like anything, like the middle class is slowly disappearing. I don't want to get socioeconomic, but that tends to be always the especially in a city like Miami where the rents are skyrocketing. You're catering to people who are, at least middle to upper middle class. So dining experiences are extremes now. You either are you're either cooking at home or buying something cheap, or you're going to a restaurant like ours and spending thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Listen, for the grand scheme of the city and the social, economic disparity, it sucks. But for having a good season and having people spend money, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it so much.
Well, speaking about those who left and those who gone, let's share a little moment of silence for those who didn't make it this year. Again, those restaurants that left, those staff members who left, will be missed. We hope you found yourselves a nice little place to be. Absolutely. Now, question I asked you this question last year. Did you, and any of you, did you get written up this year? And what for? Let us know. Comments below.
0.
0 times, every 0 times.
How many write-upable offenses have I committed this year? Muchísimo, mi amigo. But how many times did I get written up? By the grace of the restaurant gods, 0.
I guess it pays to be likable.
There we go. Exactly my point.
And I think that was those. Oh, what was your Christmas miracle this year?
My Christmas miracle this year.
I got one. If you got one,
My Christmas miracle was visiting my parents in December. That's pretty much it.
that was awesome.
I'm a simple
Now
guy.
I feel like an asshole. You're just so wholesome. You know, the Christmas miracle this year was that
I'm a simple
the
guy,
restaurant we work on closed for 13 weeks. And they
13
said,
weeks.
And they said, we're going to close for 13 weeks and renovate the whole goddamn place. And we did. The fact that we opened.
It's a miracle.
The date
Yeah, it's a
that we
miracle.
said
That's
we
a good
was
point.
going to open.
That's a good point. It's a miracle.
Christmas miracle.
It was a miracle.
In Miami, I'm telling you, so many times I tell my guests and they're like, wait, you did what? All this in that time? No way. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yes way.
Yeah, that was
Christmas miracle.
That was that Coke money put to use right there, babe. That's what that was.
But speaking of that, what was your little Christmas gift this year?
To who?
Something that really made you happy this Christmas.
Something that made me happy this Christmas was, actually, I know what made me happy this Christmas. What made me happy this Christmas was reevaluating my life goals and reestablishing that even though the margins are razor thin, the rate of success is very low. The rate of frustration and pressure is very high. I want to delve into the ownership, entrepreneurial aspect of the restaurant business. And logic swayed me away from doing that because of all those things I just mentioned.
Of course.
But my heart brought me back.
Well,
That's all I have to say about that.
let's look forward to hearing more about that. Let's see how that comes from here to the next year. All right? Maybe in fruition, maybe not. We'll see. Anything else you want to... Your next topic said.
Here we go. Let's play a little game.
Go for it.
I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios of tables, and I want you to rate them from 1 star to 5 stars.
Okay, couple scenarios. 1 star to 5.
5 being the best. And I want you to give me a few words as to why you rate that the way you rate it. Okay. I'm going to go first to give you an example of how I want you to do this.
Okay.
Because I feel like if I don't corral you a little bit, we're going to be here for 5 hours. Okay? Here we go. A solo diner. I give a solo diner 3 out of 5 stars because they aren't needy usually. Usually they're chill people. So it's not about money with solo diners. I've never gotten a lot of money from a solo diner. Just mathematically, it makes sense, right? But for the fact that they aren't a pain in my ass, I give them 3 out of 5. So, solo diner.
Between 3 and 4.
You see, you're already fucking up, bro.
I know.
There's no half stars, man.
Let's give it a 4.
A 4 star. Why?
I'm gonna give it a 4. First, they're easy, and secondly, it's a table that you can connect with as well. So it helps because
I agree.
Something that it's very that I like to do is, let's say that I have a section of 3, 4, 5 tables, and you have that one that you know that you're connecting, you're vibing with. You know, it's that safe haven from the mess of the other ones as well. And usually those single diners, they're great people for you to connect with, for you to talk to, for you to get on a one-to-one basis. Like, I call them by their name. You know, sometimes I bring them stuff. It's someone that you truly create an experience for. And
They're
it's
easy.
really nice.
They're easy to please.
They're very easy to please, but also
Solo diners are
but
easy to
also
please.
important to please as well, because these people can, you know, anything that you don't do to them, they will notice 10 times fold. We spoke about how time works for a solo diner. If it's 10 minutes with someone else, 10 minutes when you're solo feels like 20 minutes. So there's certain things there and there. So
I say 3 out of 5. You say 4 out of 5. I say 3 out of 5. You ready?
Go for it.
Here we go. A couple on a date.
A couple on a date. Oh, those are my favorites. 5.
5 out of 5.
So, yep.
No explanation. Just that's it.
those are the easiest ones, bro.
5 out of 5.
This is the easiest one. It's about they're on a date. Come on, you just gotta make him look good. You gotta make him, come on. That's easy. Those are the easiest ones to make money as well.
All right, a normal couple on a date, I say I'll give them a 4 out of 5. Okay, there's potential for money. They are in the same realm of simple as a solo diner. They tend to be very easy to deal with. So I say 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
So a family, what's called a nuclear family. You know what a nuclear family is?
Yeah. Mom, dad,
2 kids.
Yeah.
Nuclear family. 2 out of 5.
2.
I was expecting higher than that from you. Why?
Yeah, 2 stars for the adults. No 2 stars for the kids.
You mean 1 star per adult?
1 star for adults. No more than that.
I give a nuclear family a 3 out of 5. There's potential. If you bring the kids food, you crack a joke, you make the kids laugh, you make the parents not have to pay attention to their kids. The family's a little well off. They might bless you. But again, you have to deal with kids, and anytime you have to deal with kids, it sucks.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. You gotta.
I say 3 out of 5.
Kids first, then mom, then dad. The whole deal.
Shall we continue?
Shall we continue?
A table. You mean yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. A table of underage kids. Now let me frame this very clearly. There are no adults at the table. No adults over the age of 21. But everyone there is between the age of like 17 and 20.
Fuck. I'm gonna give it a 2 as well.
A 2. Why?
I'm gonna give it a 2 because you have the chance to educate these poor little bitches.
Educate them. Who gives a shit about educating these people?
I do.
So 2 out of 5. Okay. I say 4 out of 5 because nowadays wealth and money is completely different. Because one of these kids could be a crypto kid. One of these kids could be a fucking crypto. One of these kids could be a fucking crypto kid, and as long as you make them feel like they're important and you make them feel special, one of these kids might bless you. I guess you don't get tables like that, but I do. Okay, here we go.
Kids blessing. Come on.
It happens.
They don't even know how money works.
Exactly why they tip without knowing how good they tipped. All right, a full comp for a super VIP.
A 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
A 1.
Why do you say that?
Because the only person that you're pleasing at that point is your bosses. That's it.
Right.
You're making your bosses happy. That table, they had a great time. Great job. That's it. That's all you're getting from that.
I give a full comp to a super VIP. If I could give it a 0, I would, but I can't, right?
So 1.
1 is the lowest rating. I give them a 1 because super VIPs require a lot of they're inconvenient. Maybe they aren't. They could be really nice people, but the energy around them, your bosses constantly remind you, white glove service. Oh, the owner's like, where's such a table? Oh, we have to really make sure we take care of them. Don't drop a check. Make sure you send this. Don't fuck up. All of that, pain in the ass, and they usually get premier items. The check at our restaurant, we have full comps of $2,000. VIPs never tip appropriately. Never. And I understand. Some people want to be like, but that person got invited. They shouldn't have to pay. I get it. That's the way the real world works. Fine. But in a restaurant, if you come in, you're a super VIP. You want to invite me to a restaurant, you want to say, everything's on us tonight. Don't worry about it. If I know I don't have a couple of $100 in my pocket, I'll be like, I'm sorry, I can't make it.
Yeah.
I can't go. Yeah. That because I'm a decent human being. I'm not going to go somewhere and get a splurge dinner for free and not take care of the people who took care of me. So
it's rude. Very rude.
Full comp super VIP. I wish I could give it a 0, but we can't. So 1 out of 5. So cold diners, meaning diners who don't like interacting with you, don't want to interact with you, aren't interested in what you have to say. You get their food order and they want you to be invisible. How do you feel about those diners? 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5, son.
5 out of 5. If I go to the table and you say, excuse me, we're actually ready to order. Say no more, sir. Please, what can I get you started with?
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
We'll pour our own wine.
Listen.
They never stop talking when you come to the table to indicate, hey, we don't want you here. 5 out of 5, bro.
5 out of 5. Perfect. Because all you got to do is just pass by and be like, That doesn't need to be here.
That's it.
That doesn't need to be
Manicure the table.
Manicure the table.
Make sure they have their water. 5 out of 5. Because it's not...
And even, I want to give you one more, is the stand 3 feet away, wait for eye contact, and then you walk in. That's the simple key. Don't be like, excuse me, sorry to interrupt, just 3 feet away, eye contact, you move in to 1 feet.
The great thing about cold diners is they tend to tip. So I love cold diners.
Yes, you are. Yes,
so let's flip it then. Needy diners. Needy diners.
I'm a put them.
Diners who somebody tells you, yo, they asked me for ketchup and they asked 7 people for ketchup and their drinks never come fast enough and they
No. That's not necessarily the needy table, because when you said needy, I just thought about that table that requires constant attention.
Yeah, okay.
Constant
So 1 out of 5.
However, the thing about that is, I wanted to give it a 2 to 3, so I'm just gonna say 3, just because of the fact that depending on the person, because I had the most needy guest ever. They suck, and everybody knows it. Even everybody on the table knows it. But that person tipped. That person at the end of the experience, that person tips. It's like, I know I suck. Thank you for putting up with me. So in that case, it's great. But most of the time,
They don't tip.
They don't tip.
So
Most of the time,
it's a
they
lose-lose.
do not tip.
So you say 2. 2 out of 5?
I said 3. I said 3, just because of the balance. It
I say
tips the
2. I say
scales.
2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. Okay. Clueless diners. Diners that don't know anything about the menu. They don't know what foie is. They don't know what caviar is. They don't know that a tartare is raw. They don't know what a porterhouse is. They don't know anything. What do you give that to?
So this is a poorly educated table. Okay.
A clueless table.
A clueless table. Yeah, because when you mentioned clueless, I thought that you mentioned like the guests that say, "Oh, I don't know, but was it like?" Some people that never saw
People that
the
are
menu.
people
'Cause
that
there's
are
people
yeah.
There's people that haven't seen the menu, but are avid diners, and there's people who haven't seen the menu who just don't know anything.
Well,
the other day I had a guy said, "What's a skirt steak?"
Well, that's my point. If you're
Exactly.
an avid
So-
diner, that's a clueless diner. If you're an avid diner, I can go to any restaurant,
Yeah.
and even though it could be obscure things, but because we eat out a lot,
Yeah.
I'm an informed diner. I will know what some of those things are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But these are diners that are clueless.
Yeah.
They don't know
Those-
what anything is.
I'm gonna give that a 2. I'll give that a 2. I wanted to give it a 3, but I'm gonna give it a 2.
You know, I'm surprised by
And
your
I give it a-
answer.
I give it a 2 because the fact is that some of these I've had the opportunity, like this guest. I explained to them, what part of the cattle does the skirt steak come from, and how is it gonna look, and how is it gonna be compared based on the fillet, which is the other thing that the other guest was ordering. I encouraged him to get it, give it a try. He did, was wowed. So now this person, knows something different. We'll try something different perhaps from now on. And also at times they tip, because it's like, wow, I wouldn't have made this decision unless this person kind of like give me that little push for me to get that. So they can be. It's just when they give you the, oh no, I don't like that. Oh no, it's because that's different. So it depends. That's why I give it that 2.
I give clueless diners a strong 2 because it depends on their personality. If they're clueless but they're charismatic, some people are easier to teach. I'm not here to teach anybody. This isn't preschool. I don't want to explain what things are to you. You come into our restaurant, you are at a certain age. I expect you to know what certain things are. You don't know what a very, very obscure piece of meat is, no problem. I didn't know before I learned it a month ago. But if you don't know what a porterhouse is, we got a problem. It's 2020, about to be 2026. They've been serving porterhouses for hundreds of 100 years. You got to know what a porterhouse is.
I mean, something that I kind of noticed, and going back to the young kids that you mentioned.
You said you like to teach.
Exactly.
That's what you said.
Listen.
So I'm surprised you gave the Clueless Diner a 2.
FancyBread, educate, entertain, inspire, and connect. I gave it a 2 because I had the chance to educate that person. If not, I would have given him a 1. Now, again, FancyBread's all about educate, entertain, inspire, and connect. I like to take those things and not only apply it to the show, but I also like to apply it to our guest. And something that I've kind of noticed,
sometimes.
and something that I noticed as well for guests is that, like you mentioned, a lot more younger crowd is starting to come out to restaurants on their own. I've gotten a couple of tables where it's like 22, 23, 24. All the IDs say 2004, 2003. So it's just that right little point. And yes, they do ask these questions, but they have the potential through us that we educate them to become big ballers.
I'm not.
et cetera, et
I'm not
cetera.
here to educate
So,
you. I'm not here to
you know,
educate you.
That's okay. It's part of the.
I'm not here to teach anybody what a porterhouse is. That's not my problem. Learn it before you come.
There you go.
Can we continue?
Please go ahead.
All right. A Miami.
You don't want to tell people what porterhouse is?
No. A Miami date. By a Miami date, you might know what I mean. The guy is wearing like Versace print. He's got a lot of gold or chains on. The woman is sitting next to him, kind of a bimbo, right? Then when they're sitting down in the banquette, she's a little taller than he is because she looks like she's in a fucking like a stool because of her BBL like pushes her up. How do you feel about that date?
4.
4.
Yeah.
Yo,
I give it a 4.
I like those dates.
I give it a 4 because we know they don't tip.
But listen.
However,
The thing is,
that's why
so you say 4 out of 5.
Yeah, let's give it 4 to 5. But remember, this table, although they don't tip, thank God to service charge. It becomes you want to flex for your Miami date? Oh, this is what's going to be good. And you may not leave me an extra $20, but you're going to leave it in the pool.
I say a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
I say a 4 out of 5, but I say it in a more positive. That was a weak 4 out of 5, by the way. That was a strong 3, not a 4. I say a solid 4. A lot of these guys have cash on them. You use my coworker and I would like to say we had to say welcome home.
Yeah.
So this guy came in. We didn't know who the fuck he was, but we just say welcome home.
Where do you hear that first?
Welcome. Did you say that?
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, it works. You just make
little by little, baby.
You
One
make
step
these
at
guys,
a time.
You make these guys feel welcome, and they got a lot of cash in their pocket. They give it up. So I don't mind. Let's finish this up, bro. You ready? Let's do.
Does it bother you that you're a little bit more like me now? You don't even know it.
Anyways, a family.
Hey, since 2018, baby.
A family. You ready? A family with majority toddlers or adolescents.
0.
Yeah, we're breaking the rule here. We got to break it. That's a 0 out of 5. Can't stand it. I can't stand when you come to the restaurant and you have kids and they're not well behaved, and it's like I've always said this. They're like Mowgli from the Jungle Book. They're just running around. They're throwing shit everywhere. They're loud. They're squealy. And you as a parent don't seem to enforce any rules. It's infuriating. Nobody wants it. 0 out of 5. So, a large group of men, like a bachelor party, but there's a little bit of toxicity there. It's like toxic masculinity, bro energy, but not cool bro energy. How do you feel about that table?
Can I give that a 10?
You want to give that a 10?
Those are the best fucking tables.
You like that? But look, let's get even more specific. There's no leader at this table. It's just a bunch of orcs. No clan leader. Just a bunch of fucking disgusting Animal House toga wearing like troglodytes, like a bunch of fucking cavemen. No leader. Nobody wants to make decisions.
No, that's different.
Okay, we got to get specific.
That's different. Yeah.
What do you give that?
I'm gonna give it a 3.
A 3 out of 5.
Because that 3 is the balance. It goes into the pool, baby. It goes into the pool.
I
you
give it a 3.
Tip the balance in your favor.
I give it a 3 as well.
That's why we read tables. That's why we read our guests. That's why we ask certain questions. That's why you come to the table with a certain type of energy. And if they don't respond to that, it lets you know where you got to put them. And at that point, you said, if you ain't going to pay, then you're going to have to play. And that goes into the pool.
I give them a 3 because...
We either serve you or serve the restaurant.
I give them a 3 because even if they don't necessarily have a leader who's making, family-style food decisions, just for the sake of them being a bunch of fucking cavemen, they're going to order a lot of food.
Yes, sir.
So their check is going to be high. So I give them a 3 out of 5. So, a bachelorette party. Same amount of women, 10 women. I'll give you 2 different scenarios. They're leaderless, or they're a bunch of she-orcs, or they have like a clan leader. What do you give just a bunch of like leaderless she-orcs just fucking... drinking espresso martinis and...
Yeah, I'm just going to say a 1, but it's a fun one at times. But it's a 1.
A strong one.
It's a strong one. That's how it is.
The leaderless she-orcs, you give a 1 out of 5.
Listen,
What about if there's a leader who's ordering?
It's still getting the 1 because even listen, if it's a bunch of ladies, it's still going to be the same issue. It's still going to be like, oh, I don't want what they want. No, we don't want to order family style. No, everybody's going to get whatever. And no, we want to have different checks. And
All right, so let's give you a third scenario.
I don't know. For some reason,
let's give you a third scenario. I'm freestyling here.
For some reason, especially like you mentioned about being friends and being nice, it's like they didn't get that memo. So, ladies, please refer to the beginning part of this episode so you can learn how to be a better friend and maybe go out with
Let's
friends
give you
and
another
get up a
stipulation
start.
here. Let's give you another circumstance. There's a bachelorette party, and not only is there a leader for these she-orcs, but they're using a guy's card. They're using a guy's credit card. So it could be a bachelorette party,
Man.
and the wife-to-be is using her fiance's card.
Man, that's awesome.
What if before they left, the dude was like, honey, do whatever the fuck you want? What about then? Still a one?
I still give that bitch a solid 1.
Doesn't make a difference, does it? So last two.
Listen, ladies, I'm sorry, but you just don't tip. You know, if you give a percentage of the women that tip,
It's very low.
it's very low.
It's very low.
It's very, very, very low.
It's very low. So let's all right, let's finish this up, okay? A 4 top of women. Just normal 4 ladies. What do you got?
I'm gonna give that a 3.
I'd say a weak 3. You don't eat as much, you don't drink as much, you don't tip as much. A weak 3. So to finish it off, a 4 top of men.
Hey, don't be upset.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. That's what the money is.
They eat more, they drink more, they tip more.
Yeah.
That's it.
And don't be upset. If you're a chick that are serving them, they will tip you even more. That's normal as well. So don't be upset.
Or
Is that because their husband didn't give them enough?
right. Or
Listen,
if yeah.
It's just
Or if you're a woman,
don't work that way.
if you're
sir.
a
I'm sorry.
woman, listen. If you're a woman and you're like, oh,
No,
that's
say some tip.
this is misogynistic, and I don't agree. Well, you need to teach your friends, your female friends, how to tip. Then
Yeah.
you really need to teach them because this is all statistics. It's not like, if it was the opposite, it'd be the opposite, but it's not.
You know what's the sad part? That unfortunately there's not a female here server or bartender to say, yeah. Because like I said, it might seem misogynistic or whatever, but it is the reality. If there's somebody in the chat, let us know. Is it true? Is it not true?
So, if you are forgetting, only 2 tables got a 5 out of 5. The cold diners, the diners who don't need us, don't want us near them, and tip, and a 4 top of men. Both of them get 5 out of 5.
Damn, I did not give a 5 to the couples.
Thank you for playing,
I did
sir.
not give a 5 to the couples.
You did not give a 5 to the couples. You gave them a 4.
I gave a 4. There you go. That's what it is. Couples get a 4. Last words.
No, I don't have any. Or are we talking about New Year's stuff?
No news. That's last words. We're gonna close it up. Close the episode. Anything else you want to close out the year with, sir?
I want to close out the year by saying that it'd be great if people stopped paying so much attention to trendy shit. Because then eventually what I think would happen is restaurants that are actually being innovative and offering great food would excel. And all of the trendy shit would fall by the wayside and close. And there'd be a lot of empty restaurant spaces. And that would force landlords to build a relationship with potential restaurateurs where they understand that restaurateur doesn't need to pay a whole shitload of money for the first year, but they can build a relationship because they believe in their vision, they believe in their mission statement. And what will happen in 5-6 years? The city will be filled with a bunch of boyades. It'll be filled with a bunch of walrus rodeos. It'll be filled with a bunch of uchis. It'll be filled with a bunch of maquialinas. And, it won't be filled with a bunch of bullshit party restaurants. Just a bunch of really, really good restaurants that are constantly competing with each other to offer you great food at a reasonable price. That's my hope for the future.
There you go. Well, let's see how this comes out.
Oh,
I'm going to try to close it up with this.
Oh, shit.
Something that I do hope for and that I'm definitely going to try myself for the year 2025. Sorry, in 2026. In 2024, this piece of information was passed down to me, and that is that words are opinions, actions are the only truth. Throughout the year of 2025, I took the time to truly observe not only myself, but everybody around me. And I realized that a lot of servers are full of fucking shit. I am very tired of telling people something or sharing something with them, and they always have an answer. They always have an excuse. They always have a reason. But you know what they lack? Action. So honestly, this year, I will be more mindful of what people are doing instead of what they're saying. And if you see me being a little cold towards you, it's because, my friend, you didn't make the cut. It means you're full of shit. So for the last time in 2025 and the beginning of 2026, thank you for joining us at Fancy Bread. It's a pleasure to have you. And as always, thank you for listening.
Take care, everybody.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.